Wing clan was successfully sealed again. The old and young put their hearts aside and began to discuss the future development of the human race. However, not long after the seal behind the ninth circle of the stone pillar suddenly came out of the devil's aura. I'm in a hurry to ask Yi Kangchuan if the Wing clan in the upper world hasn't been killed yet. Yi Kangchuan was also in full confusion. The Wing clan came out of the channel of the Wing clan. He was sure that he had cleaned up. The ninth circle ordered Yi Kangchuan to go back to the upper world to check the situation. Although the seal is extremely hard, it is not difficult to break it from the inside. When Yi Kangchuan, who had just come to the lower world, heard this, he hurriedly ran to the upper world. The channel of the demon invasion was sealed, and the crisis of the human race's destruction was finally resolved. When all the strong men of the human race were relieved, a Wing clan hidden at the bottom of the endless sea quietly sneaked into the seal town. After receiving the order of the king of the Wing clan, after the strong men of the human race withdrew from this place, they made a decisive attack on the seal above, wanting to open the seal of the Wing clan channel from the inside. They didn't expect to just use a fist. This seemingly extremely hard seal has cracks. It's so fragile that it's crazy to get up and run to the seal. As long as you destroy the seal, you can become a hero of the Wing clan after you go back. You can't miss the benefits of the promotion and the ban. At this time, a human shadow came from afar, and it was Yi Kangchuan who had just returned from the lower world, Manchuria. Seeing this situation, the first cold sweat increased the strength of the fist and ran crazy to the seal. If the other party can't break the seal before he comes, he will die a terrible death if he successfully enters the channel of the Wing clan. I don't know how many punches I've thrown in a row. Finally, before Yi Kangchuan arrived, the first successfully smashed the seal of the channel. The feeling of the knot was so refreshing that the first was so happy. But the next second, the whole person was stupidly in the original place. Because Yi Kangchuan has come to his back. The point is that he's just breaking the first layer of the seal. And the second layer is the key to opening the channel seal. Yi Kangchuan was held by the neck of the first, and could not move him, and the other party's strength made him have no room for resistance. When Yi Kangchuan cut off the first neck, a sound of divine stones suddenly rang out of Yi Kangchuan's ear. Wait a minute, don't kill him now. If we kill this Wing clan now, it is very likely that the Wing clan king will find the coordinates of our world, according to the original breath generated by the death of the Wing clan. It is a bit of a shame to hear this. The first has died in his hands. At the same time, the army of the Wing clan has already been assembled in the evil demon world. At the moment of the first death, King Liu Yi accurately captured the original breath of the first death. The terrible strength of King Liu Yi broke out and tore the space directly. It took a moment to find the location and feel the breath of the evil demon appear in this world. The strong men of the first and second ranks also felt that. Yi Kangchuan was in a hurry to gather all the strong men of the upper world to set up the demon array. The final battle is about to begin. Then arrange the disciple Yi Shire to integrate into the world and set up all the array that could be set up. Tang Yuayo, who turned her head and looked to one side, hesitated and said, "As for Yuayo, you're still free to fight. You're mainly responsible for protecting Shire's safety." After all the arrangements, Yi Kangchuan looked up and frowned. He thought about the cooperation that King II had said before. I don't know if what King II said was true. When will King Liu Yi's weak period appear? The demon gas flowed out of the upper channel, and then a large number of demons appeared from the channel and looked at the evil king, who could not see the evil king, who looked serious. How much is this? This is a full of magnetic sound from the army. Kid, we meet again. The one who speaks is King Liu Yi, who is surrounded by countless demons. The leader of the Sword People's group has only 7 forces in the territory. King 4 asked to take it down, but King Liu Yi denied it. And then King Liu Yi ordered to break them up with the second army formation. With the command of King Liu Yi, the army of the Wing clan dispatched teams of people to rush towards the human race. When Yi Kangchuan saw this, he did not reflect. King Liu Yi did not directly mobilize the strong of the Wing clan, but gave him a chance to improve his strength. The strong men on the side of the human clan have been assembled one after another, and under the leadership of Yi Kangchuan, they have also started to rush in the direction of the Wing clan, like a wolf into a flock of crazy. Big kill, special kill, ordinary Wing clan army only been exposed. At the same time, the demon formation, which was commanded by King Han, began to operate under the arrangement of hundreds of strong people in the territory. Each of the enemies in the territory was repaired under the support of the formation. The killing power and defense have increased several times. Although the number of Wing clan troops is large, they are ordinary Wing clan. In this case, it is almost impossible to use man-made tactics to crush the human race, unless the other party has other unknown means. Just think of it here, Yi Kangchuan. On the bright discovery of the Wing clan's army, involved some ghost girl's figure to see the scene. Yi Kangchuan heart big goal. This is the assassin in the military formation. I can only see an assassin like a ghost girl, who appears behind a human cultivator and the dagger in his hand, directly towards the human cultivator's neck. At the moment of crisis, Yi Kangchuan arrived in time to kill him. He looked at the assassin who died next to him and was shocked. He almost got his neck wiped off by the other party, and at this moment, King Liu Yi, who was watching from afar, did not care about his army's heavy casualties. It was Zhu Mozin, who was interested in analyzing the human formation, who ordered the 4 demonic generals to come to the side of the ground and let him go to test the power of Zhu Mozin. The ground was excited to receive the order. The opportunity to earn military merit has come. The figure quickly went towards a human who was not in formation. The ground is 7 times the ground is 1 punch to a human. Cultivator, who makes him surprised that this is only the human who is only 2 times the ground, and has not died after taking his own power. King Liu Yi was also interested in seeing this scene, although the overall strength of the human race is behind them. The human race has a very rich attack, and now the upper ground has launched another attack. He does not believe that the ray of the area can really make the human race with 2 worms have the strength too. fight with it. However, on the way, he was suddenly stopped by someone who was the one who was in charge of the overall situation. Yi Kengshuan could not have caused the cultivator to have an accident. Otherwise, the death of one person would affect the operation of the whole Zhumoden. In the same state, Yi Kengshuan, who was called Invincible, kicked the earth out of the sand, and his other races did not even have the courage to attack. Seeing this, King Liu Yi ordered the strongmen around him to make a move and plan to kill Yi Kengshuan, the leader, first. In the face of the siege of many strongmen, Yi Kengshuan's sevenfold cultivation is still the fourth best in the south and has been trampled on by a group of eightfold in the ground. Seeing this, Yi Kengshuan no longer hides and holds his hands and begs to start devouring the air. Around the foreign race, only by improving his strength can he deal with the current dilemma. King Liu Yi saw Yi Kengshuan's action and was shocked. This kind of life force that absorbs the death of a race. To improve the cultivation can only be done by the blood of a race of kings. Even he can't do unlimited absorption. Let alone the other party is just a race. What is this person's identity? The man was trapped and attacked by many strongmen, and chose to break through the thunder that drew the sky. The foreign army below did not have time to react. The terrible thunder began to attack indifferently from the sky. Yi Kengshuan held the thunder and wandered among the foreign army. All the strongmen around the place were damaged, and became the target of thunder when Yi Kengshuan was in the winter. At one point, thunder became Yi Kengshuan's killer sister. The slow-moving foreign race, which was hit by thunder and paralyzed, was mercilessly cut by Yi Kengshuan and became his cultivation. After absorbing the life breath of the strongmen of the foreign race, Yi Kengshuan finally carried the thunder and successfully entered the gate of the 8 gates of the ground. The only thing that was trapped by the foreign army was that Yi Kengshuan was able to devour the demon and improve his cultivation, but it was also completely exposed. King Liu Yi, who was watching from a distance, saw this and fought with King Si Yi on the other side. He couldn't let this race continue to grow. Otherwise, it would be a terrible threat to the foreign race. Looking at the strong breath of the coming man, Yi Kengshuan hurriedly set up the defense posture. However, it was only a step from King Si Yi that Yi Kengshuan flew out of the whole person, until he hit the distant mountain peak and stopped. The horror of the 9 gates of the ground is far from the 8 gates of the ground that he can resist. The power and speed are not on the same level. Seeing the people in front of him did not die, King Si Yi took up his fist and came to Yi Kengshuan again. The loud mountain peak was instantly blown up. If it weren't for Yi Kengshuan's experience in combat, the reaction would have been immediately cooled down. The difference in strength was too great. Yi Kengshuan had to change his way of fighting, and chose to hurt the head of King Si Yi with a punch that hit his head, and he was hit hard. It's just that compared to Yi Kengshuan's injury, King Si Yi was just crushed by the helmet. When King Si Yi was happy with his own injury, Yi Kengshuan suddenly spat out a blood-soaked eye of King Si Yi. The thunderous force in the blood is a guest star of the foreign race, looking at the dead vision as a headless fly. King Si Yi Kengshuan, a flash came behind King Si Yi, directly with a full broke the wings of King Si Yi, and the rest of the wings were broken and then kicked King Si Yi to the ground. King Si Yi did not know what was in the blood of Yi Kengshuan. Until now his eyes could not recover, but as a strong man in the 9 provinces of the territory, it was not so easy to be defeated. Directly from the moon to the sound of the defense, towards Yi Kengshuan to attack, but no vision of the 4th king even if the strength is strong. It's just that even Yi Kengshuan's foot can't be touched. Yi Kengshuan used all his strength, and I don't know how many punches he hit in a row. At this time, King Liu Yi, who was on the battlefield, was still looking around. He did not take action in person. He was waiting for the real strong man behind the human race. I just waited a long time, and didn't see the trace of the other party. But when he put his eyes on the battlefield below, when he saw Yi Kengshuan, who was 8 times the territory, riding the 4th king of the 9 provinces of the territory, he almost didn't let King Liu Yi hug him in an instant. It's a shame for their face of the king of the human race. Immediately after the moon to the bottom of the battlefield, to fly to notice the king of the tribe personally shot Yi Kengshuan. In the heart of the great Beijing territory, 9 provinces, he is difficult to go with, let alone the king of the human race personally shot. Thinking of this night, Kengshuan immediately a sound of fire Shire of this time do not shoot more to win. The figure of the fallen Yi Shire appeared, and the hands quickly snapped and the whole sky was covered with these big movements. The sky began to topple a force, and the 6 kings of the palace were restrained and the whole person was uncontrollably changed. Yi Kengshuan, who was originally under attack, became the 4th king, and the sad 4th king did not die in the hands of Yi Kengshuan. Instead, he died under the attack of King Liu Yi. The king of the 6 kings, who was fooled, was instantly angry and the devil's aura was condensed and he came to Yi Kengshuan. At the time of the crisis, Yi Shire again launched a large array of sky toppling to give Yi Kengshuan a range of attack. Yi Shire has almost exhausted all his strength in a series of 2 powerful attacks. The king of the 6 kings is a strong man of this level who has exceeded his ability. The 6 kings, who were played by the show, turned their eyes to the Yi Shire who controlled the array from above. Without further ado, they killed Yi Shire directly. Solving the female, these tactics can be self-destructive. At first glance, Yi Shire is going to die under the claws of King Liu Yi. Yi Kengshuan, a flash, rushed to push King Liu Yi away and at the same time attracted the thunder to try to knock King Liu Yi off. When I saw this, King Liu Yi showed his face full of the color of the world. Even the habit of this world was afraid of me. You still want to use the thunder to hit me? It's ridiculous. In front of King Liu Yi Qingshuan had no power to resist. He was directly pierced through by King Liu Yi. When he saw this, Yi Shire tried to stop him, but he could not do anything. In the battlefield, he also saw the same seed of Yi Qinghan and Tang Yueyu through the opponent to rush in quickly, and caught the falling Yi Qingshuan, looking at the strongest people of the human race gathered. Together, King Liu Yi's face showed a cruel look. It's just a matter of getting rid of all of these people, so that he doesn't have to solve them one by one. At this time, a loud sigh suddenly came to mind. A huge steel stone pillar quickly rose from the endless sea below, and hit King Liu Yi, who was about to kill the girl. I can feel the strength of this attack. King Liu Yi knows that the real strong man of the human race is finally here. The source is the ninth circle who has come from the lower Manchurian underground world, although the feeling of the slow feeling is still a step late. But in his opinion, Yi Qingshuan may still have a chance to see the ninth circle ready to use the power of the source. To kill Yi Qingshuan, King Liu Yi did not stop him. He wants to see how much power the ninth circle of the source can deal with. The ninth circle did not have too much nonsense. Directly urged the judge to use the power of the source to heal Yi Qingshuan. When he saw the shock of Yi Qinghan, he could see that the ninth circle was used by the secret of their sacred jade, and he couldn't even show the sacred jade at this level. I thought of what Yi Qinghan suddenly guessed. Senior, you are the great-grandfather of Xuantian Palace. Hearing this, the ninth circle showed a smiling face of charity. Yi Qinghan guessed correctly that his true identity was the great-grandfather of Xuantian Palace, the strongest force in the 9 continents millions of years ago. The final battle of the clan invasion finally started. The human-like body of the old master Yi Qingshuan was crushed by the king of the clan, directly to the heart. In the crisis, the mysterious old man arrived in time and used his own power to heal Yi Qingshuan, which brought Yi Qingshuan back from the door of the ghost. The true identity of the ninth circle was finally revealed. Millions of years ago, the Yi army invaded the 9 continents, led by the strongest force of the human race, Xuantian Palace, led by all the strong people of the 9 continents. In the end, the king of the clan was killed in the middle of the state, but the strong people of the human race also consumed the background. Only the strongest ninth circle survived. The ninth circle was also seriously injured and damaged. He had no choice but to use himself as a shield and suppress all the remnants of the clan. In the ground, this is what gave the 9 continents countless times of life and dead. However, after this battle, the world of the 9 continents has not been restored to its original state, which has caused the cultivation of the 9 continents to be unable to touch the threshold of the ground. After a million years, the new king of the clan invaded again. Today, the world can no longer take the people who fight with him. In the same realm, it is also barely able to fight the king of the 6 wings, and the ninth circle is late in the support. In fact, it is to secretly arrange the great formation to awaken the will of all the strong people who have died in the human race. There are 98 strong people, of which the lowest level of cultivation is the 9 continents that have passed 5 to the celestial temple. The strong people who have passed 9 to the celestial temple, like the ninth circle, even if they only have 1 will. But at the same time, the power of the formation has been exposed enough to make up for the lack of strength in the ninth circle. The king of the 6 wings was also confused and ordered the army of the clan to move out to kill the ninth circle. The obsession of the 100 strong people of the human race to run the great formation of the terrible energy from the great formation of the power of the army of the clan to watch the people, and the horse to turn over after observation. The king of the 6 wings saw the end. After all, the obsession left by these strong people is dead, even if it can separate the enemy team's breath. But it is only a living thing that can attack one move. This is not a threat to him at all. Seeing the king of the 6 wings see the flaws in it, the ninth circle of the body and hand together a power sword directly towards the king of the 6 wings to kill. What he wants to do is force the king of the 6 wings to move and form, so that the formation can lock onto the opponent's attack, and at once strike the king of the 6 wings instinctive flash. This is the back of the formation explosion of the terrible energy. Like a tide crazy rush to the king of the 6 wings, king of the 6 wings swing easily responds to this wave of attack. It just surprised him that the attack of the formation seemed to restrain him. Even if he successfully blocked the attack of the formation, it would still hurt his body and cause the injury to be unable to recover in a short time. The ninth circle has long been expected to be such a result. The attack has become more and more fierce, without giving the king of the 6 wings a chance to think. And with a constant attack of the great formation behind him, the king of the 6 wings does not even have a chance to counterattack, only to passively defend and keep dodging. The ninth circle of the attack did not know how long until the energy behind the great formation was almost exhausted and stopped. The attack just now was also thrown away by the power of the formation, and the king of the 6 wings finally knew the chance to counterattack. But what surprised him was that the ninth circle still had a backhand. The moment the formation of the ninth circle was activated, the formation of the group of immortals and demons was more terrifying than the previous attack, and the king of the 6 wings was unprepared and directly kicked it. The roar of the king of the 6 wings was directly thrown into the ground, and the dust of the next generation was scattered. The king of the 6 wings dragged the severe injury from the ground and flew out. He could not remember how long he had not been so seriously injured. The king of the 6 wings broke out of the body, and under the restoration of this energy, the king of the 6 wings injury was restored in an instant. And after using the Natal magic, the king of the 6 wings appearance has also changed dramatically. The force of the force is more stiff than the iron hair that grows in each part of the body. The king of the 6 wings body defense has been greatly improved. It turns out that the ninth circle has long been prepared for the natal magic of the Wing clan and has put a huge bet in the big battle. In the words of the ninth circle, as long as you can win against a powerful invader like the king of the six wings, you can do everything you can. Speaking of which, the ninth circle brought the sword again. The king of the six wings just wanted to attack, but he found that his body was a little off. He just felt that his body was getting heavier and the power of the body was getting more and more slow. It spread to the 6 organs of the 5 organs. And the 6 kings had no hesitation, and the king of the 6 wings stabbed his chest directly. As long as the 6 organs of the 5 organs infected with the poison are removed from the body with his natural ability to repair the ability to recover in an instant. Seeing the king of the 6 wings be so cruel to himself, the ninth circle's face changed and he was in a hurry to attack again. If he had been restored, I'm afraid he would have no chance at this battle. I've never seen anyone so cruel in a million years. In order to drive the poison away, he just dug up his own internal organs. The ninth circle didn't want to kill the king of the 6 wings directly. However, in the face of the 6 kings who removed the poison from their bodies, the ninth circle, which had consumed too much, was a little displeased. The situation of the 2-man war began to reverse. At the same time, in the evil demon realm, the second king of the human race secretly came to the space channel of the Wing clan when the army was on the move. The law of the art of the human race. To the 9 channels of the main road close began to plan the taboo of the king of the human race. According to the second king's speculation, the 6 kings would have consumed a lot of capital with each other in the war. If the source is swallowed and then reversed, it will directly enter the absolute weak period. At that time, the king of the 6 wings will forever remain in the world of the other party. The throne of the human race will be his. At the same time, the space channel above the sky suddenly disappeared in the battlefield of the 9-channel road. The king of the 6 wings showed his great strength, and even the source of his stay in the race was cut off from him. It is hard to guess that there are hostile forces attacking the human race. Hearing this, Yi Kangshuan, who was far away, was a little excited and told the second king of the human race that he was cooperating with the second king of the human race. It seems that the second king said that the 6th king was attacking this world. There will be a weak period is now. I thought of Yi Kangshuan's mouth to mock you. This king is not a good place to be. Even his own people want to kill you. After understanding the origin of the matter, King 6 was a little unconfident for a while. He did not think of his own 3 strokes and would actually work with outsiders to deal with himself. Seeing that King 6 was in his own mood and could not pull himself out, the 9th string took out a jade bottle from his arms and poured the blood inside over the sword. Then, while King 6 was unprotected, he directly stabbed King 6's chest. The angry King 6 did not react and pulled out the accessory that stimulated the chest, and then sorted out the mood. I'm going to get rid of the people in front of me, and then I'm going to go back and clean up the traitor. But the next second King 6 is a little dumb. The wound on the chest could not be healed. He did not know that there was a special blood on the accessory. It was not long before the 9th string healed Yi Kangshuan's wound from the blood on Yi Kangshuan. Yi Kangshuan's blood is born to restrain the Wing clan, and has an unparalleled killing power to the Wing clan. Even the 6th king's natal power could not be restored. The 6th king felt a special energy in his wound and was looking at his internal organs and understanding his own great event. So I stopped looking around the 9th string and looked at Yi Kangshuan and the direction where the girl was. He was trying to find the last king of the Wing to stay in the blood of the world, and soon felt the familiar blood from Ysir. I ran straight to Ysir and Sin's king who wanted to kill him. How could he let King to live when he saw Yi Kangshuan's fierce defense? He was still injured, and how could he have stopped the King 6, who had no money? It was just a blink of an eye and King 6 crossed Yi Kangshuan and straight out pinched Ysir's neck. The secretary who randomly used the Wing clan pointed at Ysir's eyebrow, and Yi Kangshuan, who had reacted, rushed to the back of King 6. But King 6 ignored it. I just had a space crack and threw Ysir into the space channel and told him to teach me a good lesson about the judgment of the Wing clan. Seeing Ysir disappear in the space crack, Yi Kangshuan was confused and didn't know what the 6th king was doing. At that time, the 6th king turned to the sound and laughed. It turns out that King 6 just used the secretary to successfully activate the blood of the king of 1 in Ysir's body and gave all the remaining power to Ysir. His goal was to get Ysir to help him avenge the traitor of the Wing clan. For him, the origin of the invasion and plunder of this world was just their Wing clan survival. Death here was a completely acceptable end, but he could only accept the traitor in his own clan, and this man is still his 3rd brother. Even if you die, you have to take the other party with you. As for Yi Kangshuan, he didn't care at all. What he cared about was where the 6th king had sent Ysir. But Yi Kangshuan's answer was that the 6th king was laughing wildly, and then he committed suicide in front of Yi Kangshuan. The final battle of the invasion of the Wing clan was a great victory for the human race. All the Wing clan's visitors were destroyed. The king of the Wing clan tore up the space before his death and released Ysir into the evil demon world where the Wing clan was. Then he directly reported himself in front of Yi Kangshuan. The 9th round of the Old Man was also in the Great War with King 6. The power of the source was almost exhausted, and the remaining time was not much. In his words, he was able to survive 1,000,000 years with a breath and witness the destruction of the Wing clan. With his own eyes, he was also dead without a sweat. Then Yi Kangshuan came to the air of the battlefield and used the force of his blood to swallow all the breath left by the Wing clan after his death. A few days later, the cultivation level broke through to the 9th level of the earth. But what made Yi Kangshuan feel strange was that he was also in the 9th level of the earth. But his physical strength was not a single bit worse than that of King 6. So he came to the 9th round and asked his own questions. The 9th round did not answer in a hurry. but stood up with the crowd and came to the death of the world of the Manchurian underground in the huge sealstone pillar. The 9th round tells the mystery of the 9 insects in the earth. The so-called 9 insects in the earth are not the limit of the cultivators. There is also the existence of the so-called super dragons, and the 9 insects in the earth are the beginning of all the cultivators entering the super dragons, because only when they reach the 9th level of the earth can they really touch the power of the source. The so-called source is actually to refine one's own spirit too, the extreme, and then to evolve the product. As long as there is a stream of the source that has the cultivator of the source, it can be easily reborn. And the cultivation of the force of the source is different from the absorption of the spirit. Only the complete law of heaven and earth will give birth to the force of the source. So the source absorbed by the cultivators of the 9th level of the earth is actually the source of the heaven and earth. This behavior is inherently incompatible with the heaven and earth. So when the cultivators improve their own force of the source to a certain extent, the heaven will destroy the summer festival. And this kind of festival is completely different from the thunder festival of the cultivation experience, which can be said to have no one-line opportunity, only to cultivate the force of the source sufficiently strong enough to survive under the power of the heaven and earth. So this kind of heavenly festival is also called the heavenly official, really fighting with the heaven and earth, which is why the Wing Clan will invade other worlds in order to take the power of the source of other worlds. And the 9th level also reminds Yikanchuan and others to absorb and plunder the source of other worlds and then break through the 10 days of the official. Will be much simpler. It's just that the breakthrough is relatively weak. And if it wasn't for the 9th level of the 9 levels of the heaven and earth, how could it lead the strong people of the human race? The successful junction has been out of the Wing King kill after the secret of the earth and the 9 levels of the earth. And the 9th level pointed out the problem of the cultivation of the people. Yikanchuan has been breaking through quickly because of the special blood force of the bloodline and the life of the swallowing clan. Because the speed of the breakthrough is too fast to cause instability in the foundation. If it wasn't for his strong enough body, it would have been difficult to break through to the 9 levels of the earth and the ground. But now the time is tight, and there is a disciple Yishi, and he needs to go for a long time, and there is not enough time to polish his cultivation. After the 9th level, he rose to a stone wall and took a picture of the stone wall in the moment of explosion. After 1,000,000 years, the library had been buried by the sand and became a thick stone wall. 1,000,000 years ago, the cultivation was based on a book of books that recorded the map and opened the channel of the Wing Clan, which led to the Wing Clan's invasion of the 9 plains. The 9th level handed this book to Yikanchuan. As long as you set up the array in the book and add the blood of the Wing Clan in the blood of the Yikanchuan body, you can successfully find the evil demon world where the Wing Clan is now. The evil demon world has few strong people in the human race. There is a high chance that Yishi will be saved, and the rest of the Yikanchuan will be added the cave. And the state of breakthrough will be stabilized. And the 9th level is to look at the side of the Yikinghan. And what makes him feel comforted is that there are still disciples in his line of work. 1,000,000 years ago, at that time, because the war with the Wing Clan was too hasty, they did not leave much inheritance. But Yikinghan could cultivate to the present level with his own talent. It is enough to say that Yikinghan's talent is extraordinary. The 9th level is the only thing that is not worried about is the safety of the 9 plains. If Yikanchuan leaves to save the Wing Clan, it means that the 9 plains has no strong man to guard. Once there are other Wing Clan invasions, it will be unimaginable. So what the 9th level wants to do is to create a strong man who can take on the heavy duty in a short time, and the cultivation of Yikinghan. And the 9th level are the only ones who can accept his inheritance and can refine and improve the level in a short time. In the meantime, the 9th level has been pointing to the heart of Yikinghan and forced the way of learning and practicing to pass on the skill to Yikinghan. After a few hours, the 9th level's passing ended and the whole person's breath fell directly into the bottom of the bone, just like a dying mortal. At one point, everyone was filled with sadness, but the 9th level showed a smile. Before he died, he could see this world and walk out of a few powerful young men. He was also dead and no regrets. He ordered Yikanchuan to set up a formation here. The power of the wind and demon has long been integrated into the bones of the 9th level, so even if he died, his bones could also suppress the path of the Wing Clan and prevent the path from happening again. Hearing this, Yikanchuan decided to start arranging the formation in the way it was recorded in the book. At that time, a light came out of the formation and a passage to the Wing Clan appeared in front of everyone. Under the constant insistence of Tang Yoayo, Yikanchuan had to jump into the space channel in front of Tang Yoayo and save his disciple, Yi Shire. After the figure of Yikanchuan and the two disappeared, the 9th level used the power of the seal to suppress this channel directly, and then ordered Yikinghan to guard this world. After closing his eyes, there was no breath of life at all. The person who had the highest level of human cultivation lived for the world for millions of years, and now finally let go of his heart and left the world. Yishire, who was released by the king of the Wing Clan, opened his eyes and was in a void of space. The breath of the Wing Clan kept flowing into the body around him. The inheritance of the Wing Clan appeared in his mind. The Wing Clan was not strong before the outstanding king appeared, until the last Wing King succeeded in outstanding the Wing Clan and created the unique divine sky. The sky can not only let the body of the Wing Clan, the breath of all things that are eaten by the King family, can also be turned into food by the King family as a force to become their stronger nutrients, which is the foundation of the Wing Clan's strength. In addition, the Wing Clan has a divine skill called the Domain of God. As long as the cultivation reaches a certain level, it will be automatically mastered. Yishire does not know what these memories represent, but he can feel that as long as he masters these inheritances, you can become a real strong man. So in accordance with the method of memory, let go of the mind and control the blood and gas in the body. At that time, the breath in the body spread around and turned the energy in this space into something that felt the power in the body gradually became stronger. And Yishire started to focus on cultivation. At the same time, in the evil world where the Wing Clan is, Yikanchuan and Tang Yuai walk out of the space channel and look at the dense forests and the mountains around them, Yi Kangchuan suspects that he has come to the wrong place. It's not at all like the dark atmosphere that the evil spirit spreads. I thought of this night Kangchuan a little hard. Used the blood vein shadow tree to check if there was a breath of Yi Shire in this world, and finally felt it from a distance, as a weak human being. It is better to be careful when you first come out of the bomb. After Yi Kangchuan decided to learn about the situation in this world, he went to look for the whereabouts of Yi Shire. Soon they came to a place called Xingyun City, in exchange for the local clothes. They dressed up and got into the crowd and wanted to quickly find out useful information. In a strange place, there is no better place than the restaurant. At the window of the restaurant, the two of them raised their ears and listened carefully to the communication of the people around them. In the coming and going Wing clan, there was no human figure. It can be seen that the human race did not have the right to come to this superior world. Before the outcast, it was the voices of the Wing clan that attracted Yi Kangchuan's attention.